Hello, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is a bit of a life update because I thought I've not really spoken to you guys much recently about how things are going, what's going on, and this is a pivotal week. That makes it sound really dramatic, but effectively this week I start back at uni for the second and final year of my master's degree at the London School of Architecture. I do have a few videos that I've already filmed, but I want this to go up this week, so you'll be seeing them over the coming weeks, because I wanted this to go up pretty much as it's happening so that you all know what's going on, where I'm at, where I'm going. So yes, I am starting back at uni tomorrow. I'm filming this on Tuesday. My first day back at uni is Wednesday, and I've been off since we finished on the 14th of June. So it's been almost 4 months, very long time, and then I will finish my degree at the end of June in 2025. So I thought I would give you an update now before everything changes again, to explain sort of like how things have been going, where I'm at, and how I anticipate things are going to go moving forward. So for the last 3-4 months, I have been working full-time in my architecture job. So when I started my master's degree, I was working 3 days a week in my architecture job and in uni the other 2. Then when I finished the summer, I moved over to being full-time, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed that routine, and it makes planning life a lot easier because you know when you're going to be available and what free time you have got. And also, you know, mentally, just having one thing to focus on rather than focusing on work and uni. I've just been focusing on work. That's quite nice. But I also am aware that, you know, this is my last opportunity of education. Well, it might not be if I want to do something like a PhD, which I really don't see myself doing. But probably my last time in education before I spend the rest of my adult life in full-time employment until retirement, which is not for 40 plus years because I am 24, 25 on Friday, so this goes out on Saturday, be the day after my birthday. So yeah, it's a bit kind of bittersweet, I guess, of I'm quite apprehensive for this year at uni. I think, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a tough one, having spoken to the students who were in their second year last year. Quite intense, and I am prepared for that. But as well as going back to uni, I'm still going to be working part-time. Financially, I really need that. And from speaking to my course mates, I think most people are. So my new format going forward for my week is that I'll be working Mondays and Tuesdays, 2 days a week, and then Wednesday to Friday will be uni. So basically a reversal of what I was doing last year, because last year Monday and Tuesdays were uni and Wednesday to Friday was work. So yes, I've had a couple of weeks off work. I finished my full-time contract on the 27th of September, wanted some downtime before starting uni again to get back into the headspace of being at uni, picking up my work, because our final module of last year was called Design Direction, and it was us thinking about what we want to base our thesis project on, which we will spend the whole of our second year doing. And so I wanted some time to, you know, look over that again, get back into headspace of it, figure out where I want to take it so that I'm coming back to uni with something to bring to the table, and it looks like I am, you know, been thinking about what I want to do and not just that I've parked it for 4 months and then come back to it, because I don't think that would wash too well. And that's been really nice. I went home, I had 4 or 5 days back up in York, which gave me an awful lot more eBay stock, which you'll be seeing in coming videos, but I'll come on to that in a minute. Spent some time with the family, saw all my grandparents, spent quite a lot of time with my niece and my sister, which was really lovely. For anyone who's been around for a while, you'll know that me and my niece share the same birthday, so it's also her first birthday on this planet on Friday. So yeah, I spent some nice time at home, and then I've just kind of been chilling in London, trying to get a lot of my eBay stock processed to make way for the new stuff that I've been buying, and yeah, preparing for uni. Because this summer I kind of promised myself that I would get on top of my eBay stuff, and whilst I have made a concerted effort to get more stock processed and more listed, and I have done that and I have started to sell more, realistically I've not been going at it hammer and tongs because I just didn't want to put myself under that level of stress. Sort of been doing a few hours a week rather than dedicating, like, I don't know, 10, 20 hours a week, which, you know, I have been working full time. Sounds like I'm making excuses, but to be honest, I'm fine with what I've done. I've had a really enjoyable summer, and I'm not going to put myself under undue stress if I don't need to. And so I accept the consequences that, you know, eBay is not performing as well as it probably could be. I just don't think I need to put myself under that level of stress. It's not necessary. The only reason for it realistically is because of the amount of stock that I've got, and I'm going to hold my hands up and say I've got back into a bad habit of, once I started to clear through some stock, buying more, when I've heard quite a few people say, you know, even if it's only 10 items of a backlog, you've still got a backlog of stock that you need to process through. And I think I probably got my backlog down to 150 items, and I started buying again, and now I am swimming in stock. So I need to go back on a buying ban, and I do need to actually get through this backlog before I buy anything else. And you know, hold my hands up to that. It's my own fault. I need to learn from my mistakes. I've done it previously. It's a bad habit. But I think we'll all agree, all of us eBay resellers or just general resellers, that the buying is probably the most fun part. It's scoring great items at cheap prices. And the funny thing is that because the charity shops in London are so expensive, I've been buying off Vinted, which isn't always the cheapest way to buy. And because I don't have the disposable income at the moment to be buying expensive items, I've been buying a lot of bread and butter, paying kind of everything I'm buying is still definitely profitable, but spending more on it than I would want to, because it's more than I would be spending on it if I was living back home and picking it up in the charity shops back home, where they are a lot more reasonably priced. But charity shops back home only have bread and butter in them. It's very rare that you get bangers, as we would say. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I've got an awful lot of stock and I do need to process it. I'm also aware that I'm going back to uni and I'm going to be working 2 days a week. So how much time I'll have for eBay, I'm not really sure. And it's just something that I'm going to have to deal with. And if that means I'm swimming in stock for the coming year, then that's just going to be what it is. I know that I could get rid of it cheaper, sell it off to resellers, stick it on Vinted for a fiver, but to be honest, I just don't like doing that. I like getting my money's worth out of the things I've bought because I've spent the time finding them and buying them. And yeah, that is my ethos with it. I'd rather just be surrounded by stock and deal with it, because I'm pig-headed in that sense. I am relatively stubborn in my approach to things. Don't get me wrong, some of you guys have had some really great advice in the past for me, and I've taken it on board and it's worked. So it might be the case this time. You might have some great suggestions that I think, oh, why hadn't I thought of that? But generally, that's my anticipated workflow of just chipping away at it as and when I can. My degree has to come first. It is, you know, my career is architecture, and eBay and reselling ultimately is a sideline that I enjoy, and I like the extra income. And I am not gonna stress myself out about it because I have other things to focus on. Because I do also need to focus on my part-time job in architecture, because the hope is very much that I will go back to that full-time after I finish my degree. And I'll come on to that now. So this summer, as I said, been working full-time. I've really enjoyed it, and I've had some really lovely feedback from my boss, and I don't like focusing on that because it makes me sound really big-headed. And I think it's classic being British. We don't like blowing smoke up our own arses. But this summer's been really great in terms of my progression professionally, architecturally. I think it's been a really great opportunity to show my boss and my teams what I am capable of, and the feedback that they've given me is such. They have said that to me, which is really, really nice to hear. And I effectively pretty much have a guaranteed job after my master's, as long as they have the workload to give me, you know, as long as the business is doing well enough to support that. And I'm obviously exceptionally grateful for that. To be in a position where I've got a guaranteed job at the end of my degree is not something that I am going to let pass by me. And so, you know, those 2 days a week that I am working for them, I still need to be maintaining that, you know, work ethic. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job for the main reason that it's a corporate business, but it's not corporate in the sense that we all imagine it. I quite often imagine corporate in the American sense of people who are dedicated to their jobs, expected to work unpaid overtime, treat like a workhorse and nothing more. And that simply isn't the case where I work. They value you as a person and your professional development, because their belief is that if they look after you and let you do what you want to do and go into the areas that you want to explore, that you will be happier at work and therefore perform better for them and help the business. And I think that's the right way to look at it, rather than corporate businesses that just treat their staff as numbers and see whatever they can get out of them to you know, make the business more profitable, which doesn't always lead to happy staff. So I really want to stick with this company because I feel valued and I am well remunerated. The benefits are good. Really great working teams. It's a happy working environment. I think that is worth so much. I look forward to going into work. I really love the design process and how we tackle that. And yeah, it is where I see myself in the future. So this summer's been fantastic for that. And there are so many opportunities due to the size of the company. There are so many career paths that I could go down with it. A lot of architecture in smaller practices simply is that you are an architect, then when you have a certain amount of experience, you move to being a project architect because you can carry that workload. And then you might become an associate, which is when you have a bit of a say in the business. And eventually, you know, you might be a senior associate or a associate director, or even become a director of a business. That's fantastic, but it's a very linear career path. Whereas the company I'm at, there's so many avenues you could go down, so many different areas that you could choose to become an expert in. And obviously with that comes the money as well. That's a huge consideration. And so yeah, for all those reasons, I really want to make sure that as much as I've only there 2 days a week, that I'm still making some kind of impact and that I'm still seen. Because if you're not doing that, then you're not going to be seen as someone who, you know, is a potential for future growth or leadership. And I know this is all very far down the line, but like I say, it's my career, so I want to go with it, and I am passionate about that. So all that to say, my two main focuses for this year going forward are my degree and my job, and eBay and YouTube and whatnot will go back to being the fun stuff that I do as and when I can. And I don't intend to stop doing either of them, because they are actually quite nice respite. Like, I find eBay quite mindless. It's that thing of being bothered to do it. I do go through phases of being more interested and less interested. And obviously, the more interested I am, the more money I make out of it. They do go hand in hand. With YouTube, I don't make a penny off YouTube. I'm not monetized. I genuinely do this because I enjoy it. There is literally no point in me doing it if I don't enjoy it. Yeah, I kind of got really close with watch hours and they've dropped off a cliff again. So yeah, that's obviously annoying and frustrating because it would be nice to make a little bit of money out of this. I know it wouldn't be much, but even if it was 20 quid a month, it's 20 quid a month. But anyway, that's where that is. But also this summer, I moved into this flat, and honestly, I cannot tell you how much of a difference that has made. Sorry for the lighting. I'm sat in front of a window at my desk, so using natural lighting, and it's moving around because the sun's going in and out of clouds. But that is one thing with this flat. It has an abundance of daylight and windows, and oh my gosh, does it feel like home? It felt like home so quickly after moving in, and we really landed on our feet with it. I've explained in previous videos how it all came about. Obviously, I did the moving videos and the flat tour. And that's the other thing this summer of I have done a lot this summer of different events, but also spent a lot of time here and mooching around the area and having that slow pace of life that's just so enjoyable here. Making the flat hours and filling it with our own belongings and shopping for the flat and cooking some really lovely meals here. We've had some really nice events here with our friends, having them over for dinner or drinks. And that is the side of life that I love the most, is being able to host and spend time with friends and enjoying your living space. It just accounts for so much because we spend most of our time here. Even working full time, you know, you've still got all your evenings and weekends. And compared to where I was before, it's just an alternate universe. It's a beautiful building. The flat has really lovely proportions and lighting, as I've said. Got a great landlord, and I'm so happy here with my friend Liv. We've got on so well. It was a bit of a anxiety moving in with someone who's such a good friend. So we've known each other for 6 years, and I was kind of worried that it would put strains on our friendship living together, but if anything, it's only strengthened it, which is really lovely. Be interesting to see how it goes when we go back to uni, because through summer we've been working full time, so we've had a lot of time apart from each other, whereas we do go to uni together. So we'll both be at work Monday, Tuesday, which is our separation, but then uni Wednesday to Friday plus the weekend, so 5 days a week, we'll be seeing each other pretty much day in, day out. So I think, you know, slightly conscious of that, but we communicate really well. So I think, you know, it's the situation where if we're getting on each other's nerves, we can be honest with each other and give ourselves that space and separation. But no, it's been genuinely the best move I could have made. And yes, it is a little bit more money to be here, but I don't think you can put a price on the happiness that it brings, and genuinely, like, the improvements in my mental health. I wouldn't say I suffer massively in my mental health. You know, I've not got a diagnosed mental health condition, but, you know, we all have our struggles and moments and get down. And certainly whilst I've been here, it's been far more ups and downs, whereas I would say it's probably the opposite where I was previously. So that's been amazing, and neither of us see ourselves leaving here in the anytime soon. We love the flat, we love our neighbours, we love the area. We have a lot of green space on our doorstep. We're kind of in the centre between Forest Hill, East Dulwich and Peckham, without giving you our exact address. But it means that we've got a real diverse array of areas for us to go and explore, and they've all got their own high streets and different shops and bars and restaurants and atmospheres. Forest Hill and Dulwich are far more family oriented, very cozy, mooch around the high street. You've got your greengrocers and your nice cafes and a lot of families. Peckham is a bit younger, edgier, hate that word, but it's got like the cooler bars and like street food and markets and whatnot. And yeah, as much as we don't have the best transport links here, we're both fine with walking. It's good to get the exercise in. We've both signed up to the local gym. And yeah, honestly, I'm really grateful because it's just been a really good way of life. And that will definitely be a big support during Masters to be able to fall back in the downtime that we do have to be in such a nice place and be able to do those things rather than trapped somewhere that you're not happy. That's fantastic. And the other thing with this flat is that we have separate living, sleeping, and workspace. So I'm sat at my desk now. I have a separate bedroom and the living room separate. Previously, for anyone who was around, you would know I had one room with everything in it. No sofa. We didn't have a living room. My bed was also my sofa. I had my TV in my room and my desk, and it was perfectly functional. It was a great size, but being trapped in one room was no good for anyone's mental health. And the area it was in, there really wasn't much to go out and do. So going out for a wander was pretty bleak. It was just council estates, no nice cafes to go get a coffee from, to just, take yourself out of that mood and do something else. So yeah, it has been definitely a move for the positive, and it's really allowed me to see my London life without sounding really cringy, but like being full-time at work as well, to just really understand how things are going to be when I do finish my masters. And I think that's the thing why I'm like excited to go back to uni, but also apprehensive because I've enjoyed being full-time so much, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to that after masters, because I'm grateful that I have a good group of friends in London and my social life's good. I've found somewhere that I like living, and I can really see myself being in London for many years to come. And, hopefully can get to a stage where I can buy somewhere in London. Certainly wouldn't be on my own. That is the one downside to London. It's so expensive. You have to go into it with someone else. But if I am still in a position where I am single and have a really good friend that I would trust enough to buy a property with and live, is that we have, spoken about the potential of it. That would be amazing, but that's wouldn't be for a few years to come. A, don't earn enough, and B, we've only just moved in together. You don't know what's going to happen. We might meet someone, and that might change the course of our lives. But yeah, that's an aside anyway. I just wanted to come on here and update you with what's been going on, where I'm at, where I'm going, because yeah, like I say, I've not really done that in a while, not since I moved. So I think my last sort of life update was probably June, July time, and that's what's been going on since then, and this is where I'm going. So I do intend to do some more videos of the flat. At the moment, like I say, I'm swimming in stock, and I do need to find some kind of solution for that because my car boot is full. It's a mixture of stock and also packaging supplies. I'm rapidly filling up. We have a wardrobe in the living room, which was supposed to be our tool storage for like mops and hoovers, but I'm kind of taking over that. Liv's very good and obliging. My underbed storage in my room is absolutely full of listed stock. I have a cupboard in my room which has got a lot of coats and jackets hung in it to resell, and the rest is unlisted stock. I've got stock in the top of my wardrobe and on top of my wardrobe that's unlisted. So yeah, really need to find some other space, but don't have any. So it's a case of selling some stuff, getting through my unlisted stock, but that will come with time. But anyway, I have waffled at you for almost 25 minutes, so if you're still here, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it remotely enjoyable. Yeah, I just thought the content on my channel has been very much just like showing you stuff and not much about me, other than a couple of vlogs that I've done over the summer. So I thought I would catch you all up, and let you know where we're headed. And that's it. So feel free to leave me a comment. We can have a catch up. I am very sorry to all those people who have been leaving comments on my recent videos. I need to go through and catch up on them. I am very behind on my comments and I can only apologise for that. Yeah, I hold my hands up to that. But yes, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all again soon with the next one. So take care.